I'm excited to be your facilitator for Ignite After Dark. I've done some other Ignite After Dark, so it's always good to see you guys on. And just wanted to get a feel from the different market centers of, if you could just maybe give your name and which market center that you're from, so we just get a feel from the variety of different market centers that have been represented, that you're representing, so who you're repping today. So who's on with us today? And what market center, how long you've been in the business?
Good evening, Tyrone. My name is Chayezda Washington. I've been in the business for just under 60 days, and my market center is Bethesda Chevy Chase.
Okay. Chayezda, okay.
Good evening, Tyrone. My name is Ala. I'm from Frederick Keller Williams Realty Center.
Frederick, okay. And how long have you been in the business?
Oh yeah, 30 days plus Shayez does, so it's 90 days.
Oh, so you beat her.
Yeah, well, I think I got in May. I can remember now. It was June, July, August. Yep. Oh, that's September is already done. Done.
Okay, all right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Who else do we have on with us? Your market center, how long you've been in the business? You can unmute. Okay. All right, so I see her. I see Chavez. Is it Elsa? Elsa?
Hi there, Elsie.
Elsie, okay.
I am in the Annapolis Keller Williams Select Realtors Market Center.
Mhm.
Been licensed since August, so just like about 7 weeks since I got licensed.
Okay,
Pretty new.
all right. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. Okay, who else do we have on? I see we've got Roy on. And we've got, is that Roy?
Yeah, yeah, I'm also in Annapolis about 4 months.
4 months, okay. Beautiful. All right, and I think there's an Ebony on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm with Keller Williams Legacy, but my team is out of Metropolitan, and I've been at this for unofficially 2 months.
Okay. 2 months, beautiful. All right. And is Crystal on? Is there Crystal? I thought I saw a Crystal.
Hello, I'm out of the Keller Williams Legacy office as well, and it's been about 2 months now, I think, somewhere around
Okay.
there.
All right. Looks like we got a good group on today. It's always good just to get an idea of how long some people have been practicing. And my name is Tyrone Whitby. I'll be your facilitator for this evening. I hate to say how long I've been in the business after hearing you guys. You'll be like, what? I've been in the business for 35 years. I started with Long and Foster Realtors. I've managed a couple of Long and Foster offices, and I've been with Keller Williams Preferred Properties in Upper Marlboro for the past 12 years. And I'm a productivity coach. So I coach real estate agents on a daily basis to help them build their businesses for them and their family. So I'm always excited to share anything that I can share and give back, and you know, see any new up and coming stars, which I think we have someone this evening. So today our subject matter is really to win with sellers. And I'm going to go ahead and get started, and whoever jumps on, they jump on. Just want to share some things with you in terms of just the listing side of the business a little bit. Because one of the things in residential real estate, the money typically in residential real estate is in becoming a listing agent. And a part of it, and I'm not saying this not to have any buyers, certainly if you have buyers, cash the check. However, you're in a better position in terms of your time, because we know right now, of course, you would have to find the buyer, you'd have to get the buyer pre-approved, and you'd have to start finding properties. And then in addition to that, you then need to schedule a buyer pre-purchase consultation with the buyer as well, and actually show them properties. So it can be, and in the market that we're in, we know still, depending on your area, we know the market is in transition in some parts of the area. Some people are still getting multiple offers on properties. Other people's properties are staying on the market a little bit longer. So it's not across the board that everybody is getting multiple offers. Also, we're at this part of the year when the market typically slows anyway, because we're out of peak selling season. So we're going into the fall, into the winter, okay? So typically we're gonna have more homes on the market in the spring and in the summer. All right, so the other thing is when you are the listing agent, you're in a position to really influence the brokerage fee in terms of what you're going to be compensated, because you're going out, you're the one taking the listing as well. And then sometimes you're in a position where not only will you get that listing, you could possibly actually, through your marketing activities and efforts, you could come up with the buyer as well. Now, you cannot represent the buyer and the seller in the same transactions, as we know in the state of Maryland. However, you can represent the seller only in writing and must be disclosed to the buyer. If the buyer is okay with that and your broker is okay with that, then sometimes you can be in a position where you can do what's called double end a transaction. So we're going to talk about listings, and those of you that have your MREA, and I'm sure that you received a copy of the Red Book. And in the Red Book, one of the big things that Gary talks about is leads, listing, and leverage. And that's one of the pillars of Keller Williams: leads, listings, and leverage, the 3 L's. And we're going to delve into that a little bit this evening. And I believe you can find that in your MREA on page 41. And here's one of the things that it says: listings, the gift of the real estate gods. Listings are the high leverage, maximum earning opportunity in our industry. Conventionally, your income from having a listing sale is no different than closing on a similarly priced home for a buyer. What separates the two is the amount of time necessary to work them. In our experience, a highly productive individual can personally obtain 15 to 25 seller listings per month. The same agent would be hard pressed to sell 7 or 8 buyers a month for any prolonged period of time. With the right approach over time, you should be able to secure and sell as many as 2 or 3 listings for every buyer you could sell. So from the very start, by concentrating on listings first and foremost, you could potentially double or triple your gross income on the same amount of time worked. It is a fact that being in the listing business begets more business. And at the end of the day, listings give you better control. So I don't know how you guys feel about that statement. Any feedback, any feedback on that statement? So you think that that's possibly true, not true? What are your thoughts? Anybody out there?
Definitely true, Tyrone. I will say I showed my first homes on yesterday to a buyer. And it's a lot of time invested. And so would definitely, for people who have very limited time, like dual careers, I would venture to say that getting more listings would definitely be not so much a better use of time, but you can, again, leverage your time better.
Okay. So you found that you enjoyed that.
I did. Yeah, I absolutely did. It's an interesting market and people are interesting, but that's what real estate is all about.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else wanted to share? Because I know some of you are real new, because I heard 2 months, I heard 4 months, 7 weeks, 60 days. So who else has been actually had an opportunity to work with a potential seller? Anybody on the call that's had an opportunity to work with a potential seller? Anyone else?
I've had, well, I'm on my second one now for seller. So I just got the listing agreement signed, and I mean, the paperwork is still a lot to do, but I'm glad that I didn't have to drive around to different houses. Although I wouldn't mind it, but I could see how it's a better use of your time in terms of, well, you can get more out of the same amount of time, I should say. You can do more out of the same amount of time.
Okay. I would not disagree with that. I absolutely agree with you. When I got into real estate, it was interesting because the first 5 years I was in real estate, I mean, my ratio of buyer to listings, my ratio was 97.5 buyers. So that only left about 2.5 for listings. And I wasn't a listing agent. I was a dual career agent. And I think what kind of happened was I was fortunate to a certain extent because as a dual career agent, I was the number 2 agent in my office. But however, I was primarily working with all buyers. And I was making money, so I didn't really see what's this listing thing. I'm making money, so I'm not worried about no sellers. I'm the number 2 agent in here, so I'm good. However, I found that I was working 7 days a week. I was working because I was showing property on Saturday. I was holding open houses on Sunday and doing real estate during the week. So I was to the point of almost burnout. And until I started taking the classes that taught you how to take listings, I didn't have listings. Another reason that I was not a listing agent was because I didn't put any work into learning how to do a CMA. Now, you guys are fortunate because so many things now are computerized and electronic. Now, I told you I've been doing real estate a long time. So I started real estate, I hate to even say this on the call, pre-computer. Now, I know some of y'all can't even imagine that there was such a time. However, there was such a time. So some of the things that you guys can avail yourself of, I wasn't that fortunate. The other thing that I didn't know how to do was I didn't really know how to do the CMA. So I didn't know how to do the CMA, and I didn't know how to do a net sheet. Because during those times, we had to figure the net sheet by hand. The computer didn't have the transfer recordation taxes pre-recorded and figure it out for you. And I wasn't doing any activity that would put me in a position to take listings. So we're gonna dive into some of those things today. What successful agents do every day? They do 2 things. They grow their business and they run their business. One of the main things that Keller Williams always stresses over many other brokerages is that you're running a business. And one of the things that they say at Keller Williams is, can you actually keep a schedule? And can you actually run a business? So can you keep a schedule? And can you run a business? All right. So one of the things, if you're a Keller Williams agent, you know the thing that we talk to you about, and you're going to hear it over and over and over again. Your number one duty in your real estate agent job description is lead generation. Lead generation. You have to make a decision. Are you in the lead receiving business or are you in the lead generating business? Let me repeat that. Ask yourself, am I in the lead receiving business or am I in the lead generation business? Now, what do I mean by the lead receiving? Because some agents are not actually doing the activity, so they're waiting for the phone to ring. They're hoping that they're going to get a referral. They're looking for someone to approach them about business. Is that really sustainable?
No.
Can you really pay your bills hoping that someone is going to call you rather than you putting it in motion? Now, I'm going to give you something right now. If you have a pen or pencil, I'd highly recommend that you write this down because I'm going to give you in a nutshell, and there's some other things that could go along with this, but I'm going to give you the basics of what the real estate agent's job description is. Okay? All right. Now, there's an order that they give. I slightly adjusted one thing from the order. So for the sake of transparency, I'll disclose that. So this is the Coach T real estate agent job description. I only rearranged something. I didn't remove anything or take anything out. All right. And I did add one thing, but here we go. All right. So what I'm going to put at the top of the list, which they really have when you hear it, a lot of times is at the bottom. And that is at the top of the list is script practice, role play, and conversations. Script practice, role play, and conversations. Why am I stressing this to you? Because in order to go after business, you want to be confident in handling objections. Well, what to say, first of all, and how to handle objections, knowing how and when to close, and having technique. Many times, if you're not sure what to say, you'll be reluctant to make any calls. Because a lot of people that get into real estate, they were never in a position where they had to talk to and communicate and call people that they didn't know, right? Probably some of you that are on the call right now, on the Zoom right now. Maybe you work for the government. Maybe you were a teacher. Maybe you were an EMT. Maybe you were a police officer. Maybe you were a professor. Maybe you were a contract specialist. Okay, so that was something that you didn't have to do. Okay, all right. So the next thing after knowing your script practice and role play, because here at my market center, we do something in the mornings at 9 o'clock, and it's called Command Your Day. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, we get on Zoom and we script practice and role play different scenarios. So we'll script practice and role play contacting your SOI. We will also script practice and we will work calling expired listings, for sale by owners, what we call circle prospecting. And circle prospecting is calling around listings that your market center has taken. However, in order to do that, would you feel more comfortable if you knew what to say? Probably yes. Okay, all right. Number two would be actually making lead generation calls. Now, in the era that we're in, everything is not necessarily calls, because with Keller Williams, we look at making contacts. And a contact is considered a two-way conversation about real estate, a two-way conversation. All right, now a contact can also be a two-way text about real estate. It can also be a two-way email about real estate. It could also be about IG, two ways. It could be about a Facebook post that you get a response to that's real estate related. Okay, so those are now contacts as well. So it doesn't have to all be the phone. Now, one of the reasons that we at Keller stress the phone is because it teaches you dialogues, conversations, and techniques. I would recommend that you at some point go into your Ignite student materials, and there is an Ignite script book that's downloadable. So get the Ignite script book. I'm going to reference you to pay special attention to a technique, which is called the Ford technique, just like the car, F-O-R-D, the Ford technique. It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. The Ford technique. It's a very powerful technique because many people don't like being scripted. And they'll say, oh, coach, that doesn't sound like me. I wouldn't use those words. I wouldn't say that. I don't feel comfortable with that. Ford is very conversational. Very conversational. Now, I'm not going to get into that because being a coach, I can easily slip into coaching mode and start coaching on various techniques. So I'm going to refrain from that. I'm just going to drop that on you, let you work with your productivity coach in your market center. And but I did want you to know where that is located and where you can find the material.
I have a
Let
question.
me finish the job.
I
Yes,
have a question. Hi.
sure.
You said it's in the Ignite book.
Well, when you actually, if you go to KW University, KW Connect, and you click on, or you go to education, you'll see Ignite. And you just click on Ignite, and then you'll see student materials. And they'll have the actual Ignite script book. There's a script book that comes with Ignite. So there is a script book. So you guys have a script book with that. All right, so step one was, we said step one was what? What did I say step one was? I just gave it to you.
Script practice, role playing conversation.
Yes. Number two is making your contacts. And I would prefer that you get started with calls so that you get used to building relationships with people and talking to them. Now, what is three? Step three would be, after you've made the calls, would be follow up. Follow up. I was just before I got on this call, I was working with one of my coaching clients. And I don't understand why she has not had more closings and more business. So I sat with her and she's working expired listings. And I actually saw those people in command, which I was really happy. I was like, wow, she's got these folks in command. She actually had notes. However, what I found is if she calls someone and they don't call her back, she doesn't follow up. She doesn't call back. So if somebody, as she says, ghost her, then she assumes that they don't want to talk to her. So she leaves it alone. And as we went through contact after contact that she had there, and I said, well, what's going on with this person? Because I actually read the notes in command. I read the notes. And she's like, well, I called her, but she didn't call me back. She went ghost on me. So I said, well, let's look at the date that you originally spoke to the person. A lot of the contacts were in July and August. And none of the people had she called more than 3 times, not one. Now, this might be tough for some of you. I'm gonna give you my philosophy, the world according to Tyrone. And my philosophy is this one. I'm going to call you until you tell me not to call you anymore, or until you call me back. Now, I know that's not for all of you because, you know, coach, I don't want to seem pushy. I don't want to seem overbearing. I don't want to, you know, just be a bother. Let me give you something real quick. And I shared this with her. Sales statistics. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 48%. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Only 10% make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. Wait for it. Wait for it. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. Hello. I don't know now. I hope this is, I don't know what, I hope this is some enlightenment. So that some of you just, I want you to really know how you need to position yourself. Okay? All right, so follow-up. Remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. So what I asked her to do, I gave her a coaching assignment, and I think I went through with her about 25 people. So her action item is to call everybody back again until she gets them. That's her action item. I can tell you a real quick story on something like that. I shared the story with her. I'll never forget, I got an opportunity with my church to do a home buyer seminar. And it wasn't held at the church, it was held at a school. And I had a table there. In my church, there was a loan officer in my church, and I know the loan officer. So I got set up at the school for the home buyer seminar. And people came by the table and I passed out cards. And I made sure that I had what's called prospect cards, which allowed me to get their contact information. All right. So at the end of it, when it was over, I had a stack of cards and the loan officer came over and the loan officer said, wow, you got a nice stack of cards there. And the loan officer said, so are you going to share those with me? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You had a table just like I had a table. And, I had to really go to one of those when people would say, what would Jesus do? I had to go to what would Jesus do moment on that one. Because I'm like, we both here because you're not talking to people and hustling. I'm talking to people and hustling. Now you want me to share my contacts with you. All right. So for the sake of transparency, Jesus did tell me to share them with him. I don't know. I don't know if he really told me that, or I just said I'd do that. All right, so check this out. There was a lady that worked at the University of Maryland. She was super excited about home ownership. We had a great conversation. I followed up with her because that was on a Saturday, followed up with her on Monday. And she didn't answer my call. Called her again later in the week, didn't answer my call. So from that home buyers seminar, or workshop, or actually that day that I had the booth, she never called me. Over a span of 3 months, I continued to call her. I called her 21 times and she never called me back. Now, I didn't call her 21, like every day, 21 times. It was over 3 months. One day I had a closing. I'm sitting at the title attorney's office. The closing was delayed. So I said, well, let me go through my leads. And she was one of them. So I called. And guess who picks up the phone? She picks the phone up. And she's like, oh, Tyrone. Oh, yeah, Tyrone, I've been meaning to call you. And I said to her, no, you weren't. And she started laughing, right? And she said, look, Tyrone, the reason I didn't call you, she said, I knew me and my husband, we had credit issues. And I didn't want to call you and waste your time. She said, but right now, she said, we got everything straightened out. I said, for real? She said, yes. I said, okay, I'm gonna have my loan officer give you a call. That was a Tuesday. My loan officer gave me a call back on Thursday. Tyrone, hey, I talked to your prospects and yeah, they do have everything together. I was like, great. I called her back. I said, let's go out and look at homes on Saturday. She said, fine. She said, my husband will be off on Saturday. I took them out, showed them one home, and she was like, we want to write on this house, one. Showed her one house. Now, on that same street, there was another house, 2 doors down. So I said, well, look, since we're over here, let's look at the other house. No, we want this one right here. We good. Let's write. I said, it's 2 doors down. All we have to do is walk down 2 doors. Okay. They walked down 2 doors. Well, this is kind of nice. I think we want this one. Now, had I tried to figure out why she wasn't calling me back, because generally when people don't call you back, you know what happens? We invent the reason that they didn't call us back when they never told us that, because they didn't call us back, right? So how do we know why they didn't call us back? We're going to jump to the conclusion, well, if they wanted to talk to me, they would have what? If they wanted to talk to me, they would have done what?
Called back or answered the phone when you called.
Absolutely. So had I not made call number 22, then guess what? I wouldn't have shown 2 properties and had them under contract. So the moral of that story is never try to figure out why someone didn't call you back. Remember, you're attempting to sell them something. They're not attempting to sell you something, right? So your job is to do what? Follow up. Okay? All right. So that's my story on follow up. All right. Now that should be step 3. Step 4 is to negotiate contracts. It's to go on appointments after the follow-up. I'm sorry, it's to go on appointments. It's step 4, go on appointments. Step 5 is to negotiate contracts. And the last step, go to closing. All right. So that's a simple form of the real estate agent job description. Now you've got to get it started because you're not going to have going on appointments or negotiating contracts if you didn't do what? Lead generate. If you didn't script practice, because it's all about conversion. Any questions on that? Anyone have any questions? Okay. All right. It says here, step 2, make seller listing presentations and get listings. Now I'm going to tweak this just a little bit because I'm going to substitute a word where it says make seller listing presentations. The word that I'm going to substitute there is consultations. You want to view yourself as a consultant because a consultant solves problems. Typically, when you see the word make seller listing presentations, here's what happens. The agent will go out and the agent will start doing this. Talking. Oh, I have all of this information. Let me share these comps with you. What the houses are going for in this neighborhood. Let me tell you what the market is. Now, do you have to do some of that? Yes. But a big part of working with someone and someone that's a seller is typically a person has a situation. And your job is to present a solution to whatever the problem is. So if I'm not listening and I'm doing more talking, the only thing I know is they want to sell their house. Well, people generally want to sell their house for a reason. And typically it's because their circumstances have changed. So I need to know what is the real motivation, not the fact that you want to move, that you want to sell your house. So view yourself as a consultant because it'll put you more in a role of asking questions than doing all of the talking. I don't know if that makes sense. Am I making that sensible? Okay. All right. Looks like 2 people said I am. All right. So I'll go with that. All right. Now, what else do we have? Make buyer, there's the word again, presentations. I would say consultations. Let me ask you this. Which would you rather have? Or which do you think is more valuable? A presentation or a consultation? Which do you feel is more valuable in your own mind?
Consultation.
Consultation.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Then it says you need to preview real estate. Why do you need to preview real estate? Why do you think you would need to preview real estate?
What does it mean?
It means to go out and look at homes,
Okay.
look at
So
the
you-
inventory.
Okay.
You can look at the market, you can learn the neighborhood. You can even mock practice while you're there walking through the house. What would you say? What would you point out? How would you present it on a buyer side from a listing side? What would you do different to clean it up or, those kind of things.
Beautiful. And I want to thank the my pre-facilitator for some of the things that she's done and she's dropped in the chat. I really want to thank you for that. I really appreciate that because she did drop in the chat. I believe where to find your the Ignite script book as well. So thank you very much for that. The other thing that it allows you to do is a lot of times when you preview homes, you will know the best homes in the various price ranges. So when you take somebody out, sometimes you can say to a person before you take them out, you know, Veronica, I know that you and your husband's time is very, very precious. And I know that you don't necessarily want to see every home on the market, but you want to see the home that most closely matches your needs. Is that correct? They're going to say yes. Okay. Now, here's what I've done for you. I've gone out and I've previewed the best 3 homes in your price range. So what we're going to do is we'll go out today and take a look at those, and then you can narrow it down and make a selection from the 3 best that is on the market because I've already done the legwork for you. That does make sense, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm setting it up not to show 50,000 homes. I've already gone out, I've previewed. I know the 3 best homes in your price range. So does a person want to look at everything? Or do they want to look at the homes that most closely match their needs? So are we on a fishing expedition out here? Or are we on here to catch some fish? Not just we're going to go to this pond, this one, that one. Okay, well, I know where the fish are jumping. So I'm going to take you where the fish are jumping. Because that is what you want, right? Okay. All right, so preview real estate. Let's go over to the other side, run business. 1, market seller listings. All right, in this age of social media, there's so many things you can do. You can do TikTok videos, you can do IG, you can do Facebook, you can do LinkedIn. You can, what else? I mean, there's a ton of social media that you can do as well as you can do direct mail. All right. All right. Show buyers houses. I just gave you a tip on showing buyers houses. Negotiate contracts. That's in the agent job description. Transaction management to closing. One of the things I would highly recommend to you, especially if you're a dual career, don't try to save every nickel. I know some of you are on tight budgets. Some things you want to learn to outsource. I would look at a transaction, what they say is, or call it a TC. I would look at a transaction coordinator, of hiring a transaction coordinator early on, once you start to get some traction in your business, to handle all of the paperwork, to handle all of that back end. All right. Because you cannot bill people at $300, $400, $500 an hour if you're doing $5 an hour work yourself. Okay. Now, at some point you have to get there. I'm not saying you're automatically there. One of my other coaching clients, she just capped. She's been in the business. She's been in the business for, I want to say she's been in the business at least probably 5 years, and she just capped. And I was sitting with her to go over her real estate wealth building plan for 2023. And one of the things that she's doing is she's definitely bringing on, because her goal is she wants to close 24 transactions, 2 a month. She's dual career. She has a very high profile day job. She wants to close 24 transactions. Her average sales price is around $400,000. So we looked at what can we do to give her additional leverage and for her to use systems and tools. And I want her to increase her listing and conversion skills to take more listings. Okay. All right. Vendor management would be the people that you do business, would be people like your landscape, your roofers, your general contractors, your painters, drywall people. Those would be vendors, because you want to teach them and train them how to refer business to you. You want to make sure that you set goals for your business, just like I set with her today, and we went over that. Compliance and risk management. I'll drop this on you and I'll say this to you. Never put yourself at risk if you don't have to be at risk. Never put yourself at risk if you don't have to be at risk. Always remember that. Okay. All right. All right, any questions thus far? No? All right, attend training and definitely make sure you're getting coaching. Don't try to figure this out all on your own. A good coach has already been there. A good coach can see around the corners that you can't see around. All right? Coaching is worth it, absolutely. Okay, coaching pays for itself. Because people will say, well, I can't afford it, and how much is it? All right, so the question I would ask you, without having coaching, how much is it costing you? Having a good coach can easily help you to acquire, on the worst side, 4 or 5 transactions a year, just on that, okay? Manage your money, because in real estate, sometimes there are lean times. Sometimes there are lean times. Sometimes it's not always good times. So make sure you are managing your money, okay? All right, let's go a little bit further. What we'll focus on today is grow your business, lead generate for buyers and sellers. And somebody raised their hand. I think it was Ala. She raised her hand.
Yes, I have a question. Can you please help me to understand coordinator? What do they do? I mean, I'm that new. I don't know what the transaction coordinator do.
Okay, briefly, a transaction coordinator would be a person that helps you with a lot of the paperwork. That would be the person, let's say that, I don't know, you were working with a buyer. That would be the person that once you write the purchase agreement, depending on who you hire as a TC, that would be the person that'll make sure that you have all of the paperwork and that it goes into your market center. Whoever's the person that does the compliance, they'll make sure that you have the right forms, the right documents. They would be the person that could set up the home inspection for you. They would be the person that can make sure that the termite inspection is going to be done. They're the person that would make sure that that file is now transferred over to the title company of the buyer's choice. They handle a lot of the back end and a lot of the paperwork.
Thank you.
Now,
Can I ask a question? Is the $495 put in the buyer agreement cover this? Is
the
it meant for that?
495, what 495 when you say 495?
There is a flat fee that I see appearing in the.
No,
Okay.
no, that additional flat fee, that additional commission fee is generally to take care of making sure that people's documents are archived, because Keller Williams, we have to keep copies of those documents for 5 years. And sometimes people lose their documents. They need copies of them for tax purposes, because sometimes when they buy a house, there's certain things that they could write off on their income taxes, depending on what their tax person, lets them know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So thanks for the question. All right. Make seller listing presentations and get listings. Make buyer presentations and get listings. Preview the real estate. We talked about that. Let's move on and let's go into the next phase of this. One of the number one things when you're working with either a buyer or a seller, one of the key things is, this is really key. You must get to what someone's motivation is. You must get to their motivation. Now, why am I saying this to you? Because right now, you guys are new and you're coming into the business at a time when I can give you some of the main objections that you guys are going to get hit with right now. Here, I'll just share a few with you. One of the main objections that you're going to get hit with right now, especially if you're working with buyers, and remember, less than 10% of the agents in real estate are listing agents. The majority of agents in real estate are primarily buyers agents. The number one that you're going to get hit with objection is, we want to wait until the interest rates go back down. That's going to be the number one one that you're going to get hit with. We're going to wait till the interest rates go back down. The interest rates are too high. Another one that you're going to start to hear, especially when you get close to like in a couple of weeks, October, mid-October, here's the next one you're going to hear. Well, we just decided that we're just going to wait until the holidays, after the holidays are over. That's the next one you're going to get hit with. Let me give you the next one you're gonna get hit with. Well, we decided that I think what we'll do is we're just gonna wait until the spring. All right, now,
You missed one. You
what?
missed one. Income tax.
Yeah, that's one too. You're right. We're gonna wait until we get our income tax back. You're absolutely right. That is another one. Now, yeah, and there's some others, but those are gonna put those in your top 5 are those. Okay. All right. Now, you might be saying, well, coach, how are you connecting this to motivation? The way I'm connecting it to motivation is this. If people's motivation is strong enough, it'll overcome interest rates. It'll overcome the spring. It'll overcome income taxes. Now you might say, well, how's it gonna overcome it? Because a lot of times people don't necessarily have to have that money, because here's what's happening. Banks want to always make loans. All right, so right now, since the interest rates have increased and they're going to continue to increase, banks want to make loans. So what they're going to do, they've already started it. They're coming out with innovative programs to help buyers get in the houses so that they can make the loans. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so all of you, here, I'll give you another action item. Make sure you check with whoever are lenders that have been recommended in your office. You might even have a preferred vendor right there in your market center. Check with them and ask them what type of programs do they have. And there are many different programs coming out. I saw something where it was, don't ask me the company because I don't remember it, where they was, the buyer could get up to $15,000 in closing assistance. Banks want to make loans. They can't make loans if more and more buyers are being taken out of the marketplace and they're not doing anything to help them get back into the market. Okay. All right. So if a person's motivation is strong enough, it will overcome some of the other things that people are saying. Let me drop this one on you too while I'm thinking about this. It's one of the ones I work with my coaching clients on when we do Command Your Day. When you get hit with the objection that people, okay, somebody, let's see, who's on here? Somebody role play this with me. Be the prospect and say to me, we want to wait until the interest rates go back down. I don't care who the person is. Anybody that wants to, I'll be the agent.
I'll do it.
I'll give you the easy role. You can be the prospect. So hit me
I'll
with
do
that.
it. I would like to wait until the interest rates go down.
Okay. Ebony, I can certainly appreciate that. And Ebony, are you concerned about the interest rates, Ebony, or are you concerned with what your monthly investment would be?
I'm concerned with the monthly rates.
Okay. All right. So Ebony, if there was a way that I could find you a monthly investment that you felt comfortable with, then you would pursue becoming a homeowner and building a legacy of generational wealth. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So y'all got that? Okay. All right. So get away from the rate thing with people. It's the monthly investment. It's just like if you went to buy a car. Let's say you wanted a BMW 745i. All right. And you got there, and we all know that interest rates have gone up on cars as well as credit cards, like right now. Okay. So if you could get that BMW 745i at a monthly, I don't want to call it, I use investment for real estate as opposed to payment, because people don't like to pay stuff. We all like to invest in things. So notice my language was invest. So if you could get that at a monthly investment that worked for you, would you care that the interest rate was 9%? No, because you're concerned with the monthly what? Payment. Or in the case of real estate, investment. So get away from, because look, none of us can change the interest rate, can we?
No.
No. So why am I going to debate on an interest rate level when what people are concerned with is their monthly investment for real estate? That's what they're concerned with. Okay. All right. Allah has something.
Yes, along those lines, but if I'm sorry, if the rates are going up, then I cannot afford, and that's my objection. I cannot afford what I really want. I don't want to just buy something and invest into something that I will not be happy. I want something else, but I cannot afford what I want. How do you go with that? Because monthly investment is one thing, but the rates means you cannot afford exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, all right, so let me ask you this, because in talking to you, Ala, I guess, well, let me ask you this. How long do you think it would be before the interest rates would go down, would be lower?
That's the one that came to my mind right when you started the
No,
conversation.
no, we role play it. No,
Nobody
you're
knows.
that person. So role play
I
with
don't
me.
know. Nobody knows. With the way market goes, it's just unpredictable.
Okay, and right now, I think you told me that you're currently, now I'm gonna play this out with you. I think you told me that you're currently in an apartment, is that right? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, and you said you said the monthly rent there was what, about 2,500, I believe you said?
2,100.
Oh, it's 2,100. And just out of curiosity, how long have you been there? How long have you been at your
2
current location?
years. 2 years.
2 years. Okay. And suppose interest rates took 2 years to go back down, or even a year to go back down. Do you know that rents increased last year 17% last year? Rents are going up, and more than likely your landlord is going to increase your rent. So now I'm not saying yours is going to go up 17%, but let's just, for the sake of conjecture here and curiosity, you're paying $2,100 now. If your rent went up by 17%, you know how much more you would be paying a month to live in the same place?
Well, I can guess, but my landlord already put the price up. So I know, okay, I see what you're going. for.
Okay. And would you actually have a tax write-off? No?
No.
Okay. And you would be paying more to live in the exact same apartment with no new amenities, no new features, no new nothing.
Yes.
Because on $2,100, guess how much that is a month? That's an additional $357 to live in the same place and have no equity.
Mhm.
So is that really what you want to do? Or would you prefer to, maybe you might not be getting exactly what you want, but guess what? You would be in a position to build some equity, and you would be actually in a position to control an asset. So would you rather control an asset, or would you rather be paying for someone else's asset? Which
I
makes more sense?
I agree with you. I would like to move out. I would like to have my own equity, but I would like some home that I enjoy living in, but moving just into something. I want to move into to see a better buyer's market. That's what I'm
Okay.
waiting for.
Okay, that makes sense. So do you believe that, we haven't gone out, so do you believe that there's absolutely nothing out there for you without having gone out?
Yeah, I guess I will sign the agreement and I'll go out and look with you.
Okay, all right. So thanks for role playing with me. Just thanks for role playing with me. Because I just want you guys to kind of be prepared for some of these things that you guys are going to be facing since you're new coming into the business. And this is what you guys are going to get hit with. So I hope that this helps help you guys a little bit in terms of being prepared for that. All right, let me keep going because I'm getting so deep on some of these things. Let me get it. All right, so one of the things on making your phone calls, make sure you subscribe to the Do Not Call Registry. There's a national Do Not Call Registry. You can Google it. Anytime you contact someone, if they ask to be put on the Do Not Call list, as a real estate agent, you're supposed to put them on the Do Not Call Registry. All right, okay. All right, so a good way to start is to start with people that you know and that you already have permission that you can contact, all right? So be on the alert for the Do Not Call registry, because I don't want anybody to get in trouble. All right, one of the first places you want to go is your database. Now, let me say this to you. You want to check and see how many people you have in your cell phone. Check and see how many people you have in your cell phone. What is the number that you have in your cell phone? Let me drop a statistic on you. Let's say you have 200 people in your cell phone. NAR statistics, National Association of Realtor Statistics, show that 5% of the people in your cell phone will do a real estate transaction in any given year. Let's say you had 500 people in your cell phone. 5% of those people will do a real estate transaction in any given year. So that would be 25 transactions are just sitting in your cell phone. Now, the challenge for you though is to figure out where those 25 transactions are. And the only way that you're going to figure that out is you got to contact your database. And I like to use the term data bank, B-A-N-K, your data bank. Now, here's what some people are going to say. Well, all of my friends, they all own homes. All of my friends, they already bought a home and I don't have any buyers in it. And I don't really want to call people and just bombard them and just bother them. Okay. Well, you can bet if you're not contacting those folks, somebody else is. Zillow is contacting them. Trulia is contacting them. Other real estate agents are making lead generation calls. Nothing worse than seeing somebody that you know, they done bought a house from somebody else. And they didn't even know you were in real estate. I hope y'all get that. Because I see it all the time. Had one of my coaching clients tell me that today. Okay. All right. Now, there's something called, I see a raised hand. Question? Question? Ayla, question. Come on.
Oh, I was talking, but I was on mute, sorry. In my phone, I have about maybe 25 in Maryland contacts. Everything else is either out of state or mostly out of this country. How do you address a database or just let it be, just address the ones that are local? Because
I contact everybody in there because Keller Williams is an international company. You can receive referrals from around the world. And remember this. You don't know anybody that's on this call. You don't know all of your friends' friends. You don't know all of your friends' friends. And guess what? They don't know all of your friends. So guess what? That means that there are people that they could refer you to by you being in contact with them. They may not buy anything. However, they may know somebody that's having a baby. They may know someone that just got a job promotion. They may know someone that's relocating. They may know a teacher that's retiring. They may know a teacher that's moving out of state. They may know some teachers that are moving to this area since there's a very desperate shortage for labor in the labor market. People need housing, right?
True. Thank you.
So you can make money from around the world. From around the world. Because that's the beauty of being with Keller Williams. We're a global international company. You're with the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. In the world. That's huge. So play that to your advantage. Okay. All right. There's something called the daily 10-4. What is the daily 10-4? Here's the daily 10-4. It's making 10 contacts a day, adding 10 contacts to your database, writing 10 note cards, and previewing 10 homes. Now, they've changed that a little bit in the newer versions of Ignite. And what they do is they have something called the 10-10-5. So that is reviewing 10 posts, making 10 posts, and sending out 5 DMs, direct messages. Okay? All right. Open houses. Open houses are a good way for you to start to build your business. Because sometimes people come to open houses and the reason they're coming is they're actually interviewing that real estate agent without the agent knowing it. Because what they're doing is they're coming in to watch how that agent is conducting that open house. I'm going to get to you in a second too, Ebony. I got you. So they're going to see, how is this agent conducting this open house? What type of materials and handouts do they have here? How are they greeting people? Because I'm thinking about selling my house. How are they dressed? So it's a lot of little things. Now, you need to learn how to do an open house. Open houses aren't just sticking a sign in the yard and showing up at a house and thinking that you're doing an open house. One of the things that Keller Williams does is what they call 7th level open houses. I'm not going to get into 7th level open houses. Please talk to your team leader or your coach about that. If they're a productivity coach, they will know, but I don't have time to delve into that. I just want you to know that there's an art to conducting an open house, and you need lead time to do it. What I see, like tomorrow, today is Tuesday, so tomorrow is Wednesday. I'll see an agent get contacted to do an open house for Saturday, and they don't have any time to even promote the house because another agent asked them to do it. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't maybe do the opportunity or anything like that, but you need lead time to properly do an open house, and you need to be trained, and you need to be aware of safety factors as well when you hold an open house, because there are a lot of crazy people out here too. All right, referrals. Some agents do very well at building their business by referrals. One of my coaching clients that I spoke to today, the one that I spoke to you about that capped, we were analyzing her business, and I asked her, where did the majority of your business come from? And she said it was referrals. That's good. The question I asked her though, is when you got those referrals, did you know you were going to get them? And her answer was no. So as a coach, what that said to me is she's not deliberately driving referrals to herself. She got fortunate because somebody called her. Now, if somebody calls her tomorrow, she didn't know she was going to get a call for a referral. Now, if you're using your command and you have people on smart plans or you have them on neighborhood nurtures and you're driving the referrals to you, that's another thing. Because referrals can be a dangerous, two-edged sword. And what I mean by that is if you're not deliberately driving the referrals to you and you're doing good and you're getting referrals, okay, suppose the referrals start drying up. By the time you recognize that the referrals have started to dry up, it's too late. Because what are you then going to do? The phone was just ringing for you. You always want referrals, but you want to drive referrals to yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, Ebony, you had something. Ebony.
Yes, for the 10-4, you said make 10 contacts a day, add 10 contacts to your database, 10
note cards.
Oh, 10 notes.
10 handwritten notes, because people don't get note cards anymore. People really appreciate that. I've had agents that have gotten listings just from the note cards.
Okay.
All of you that, especially you're new to the business, if I were you, I would go to Michael's or one of those art supply places. I would probably buy like, I would just buy in bulk. I would probably just go and buy 500 of the note cards. I wouldn't go and buy 25 or 50 because you're going to always need them. It's not going to be one off. And I would buy the note cards and put a handwritten note. Hey, Ebony, I just wanted to send you a little note and just thank you for being so supportive. You've always been supportive on everything that I've ever done. And I wanted to let you know that I'm super excited because I just started my real estate career with the #1 real estate brokerage in the world, Keller Williams Realty. And boy, am I excited. I really would love your continued support. And I'd just like to ask you this. Who do you know that should be a homeowner that is currently not a homeowner? Who would that one person be? Feel free to reach out to me and I will be in touch and put 2 business cards in that note card. If you put 1, people will not give the other business card to somebody else because they don't have any more. They only have 1 of yours. So put 2 in there. So think about it. If you send out 25 note cards, you put 2 business cards in there and you got those 25 people to give your card out, guess what? They prospected for you. You got 25 additional people that now have your contact information that never would have had it. Does that make sense?
Tyrone,
Yes.
can you repeat that script you just said?
No.
I was thinking the same thing.
No.
Why did you? Come on. Slowly.
Slowly. Get your phone out to record it.
Oh, well, wait a minute. How you do that?
Oh,
This is
boy.
being recorded. They're gonna send you the link on the next invite.
Yeah, that's right. The link will be on
That's
there.
true. That's true. Okay. All right. I got it.
There you go. Good looking out.
I just remembered that. Like, I didn't even need to have him repeat himself because I just remember when you said, how do you record? I'm like, wait, it is being recorded.
There you go. All right. So get the note cards, do the handwritten notes, send them out. You're going to have some people that are going to call you back because they're going to be excited for you. Another thing too, let me drop this on you while I'm thinking about it. One of the things that I would really advise you to do, especially, is to make sure on your voicemail, unless you are somebody that got a top secret clearance in your job and you can't leave, you can't have your own, they kind of control your phone or something like that. That's a different story. So I'm not talking about anybody with that. All right, so if your phone is your own and you can do what you want to do with your phone, then on your phone, have a message on your phone that lets people know you're in real estate. Because sometimes I call, even sometimes I have coaching clients and I'll call them, and when it picks up, after it rings for 6 times before it picks up, then I hear, you have reached 240-397-0129. What? How's that making you any money? People don't even know you're in real estate. There's some people right now that don't know you're in real estate. Have you ever had somebody call you out of the blue that you haven't spoken to in 5, 6, 8 years? Yes or no? Yes or no? Hello?
I have, and I have.
Okay, so everybody doesn't know what you do. So here, all right, somebody on your phone. Now, I'm not saying this has to be your phone message. Your phone message is whatever it is. So your phone picks up. Hi, you've reached Ebony. I'm currently on a listing appointment or on a listing consultation. However, I'm always out, if you are a buyer, I'm always out looking for that next great home for you. Please be sure to leave your phone number, including area code, and I will return your call as quickly as possible. So I'm gonna let them know. And then too, I would mention, I would mention Keller Williams because that's a lot of power. So this is, you reach Ebony with Keller Williams, whatever your flagship, whatever your office is. Okay, and the message that I just left is, I left a message that was listing centric. Because I didn't say, if you know of a buyer, I didn't put buyers first. Most agents will always put buyers in their marketing pieces before they put listings. I want to attract listings. So you get what you attract by what you put out. So my message is, hi, you've reached Ebony with Keller Williams Preferred Properties. I'm currently on a listing appointment or doing a listing consultation. Then I'm gonna hit the buyer side because I don't want to alienate any buyers. Now, if you are a buyer, please remember, I'm always out looking for that next great home for you. Please be sure to leave your phone number, including area code, and I will return your call as quickly as possible. Boom, done. So I want you thinking listings. I want you thinking sellers, because this is our Ignite session tonight. Okay? All right, we good on that? All right, next thing. You have to pre-qualify sellers just like you would pre-qualify buyers. Some agents think that listings are so magical that you don't have to pre-qualify sellers. Yes, you do. You can waste your time with sellers just like you can with buyers. So, Coach, what do you mean by pre-qualify sellers?
Yes, Coach. What do you mean by pre-qualified sellers?
I'm glad you asked me that. I'm glad I showed up tonight. I mean this. You want to develop something, and you can make it up any way that you would like to make it up. It's called a client qualifier. Write this down. Client qualifier. All right. Now I'm gonna have you help me with this. Okay. I'm only gonna give you some of these things if you guys help me. All right, because I'm looking for some participation. I'm looking for some help. I want to see how you guys are thinking. All right, I'm gonna lead it off. I'll start you with the first one. I'm gonna see where you guys' mindset is. All right, so one of the questions on the client qualifier would be, remember I talked to you about, and it's on the screen right now, understand motivation. Okay, all right. So the person that asked me, Coach, what do you mean by that? Which person is that? Because I'm going to role play it with you and I'll be the agent. You don't have to worry about being the agent. I'll make it easy. So who is that person?
Me,
Who's me?
Ebony.
Ebony. Okay, Ebony, you just started the show tonight. Okay, Ebony. All right, so I'm the agent. So Ebony, you know, it was great meeting you at the Crofton Earth Day Festival. And you came by my booth and you expressed an interest in possibly becoming a homeowner. Is that still the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you know what, I'm gonna flip this a little bit because I want to ask the question. I want to do it from a well, I can do it from the buyer point of view. So let me ask you this, Ebony. What's causing you to consider actually moving? Why are you thinking about it?
We've outgrown our apartment. I have 3 children and we no longer fit. And we would like
Oh.
to buy a dog.
Okay. And how many bedroom apartment is it?
It's a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay, a 2. Okay, so you need to go to, what do you need to go to in terms of bedrooms? Are you thinking?
At least 3, my own room. My oldest daughter has her own room, and the younger 2 can share. They'll be fine for a little bit.
Okay, the younger 2. What are the ages of the younger 2?
So 17, 14, and 10. So 14 and 10. I'm trying to pick
Okay.
a real life from when I bought my home. So the younger 2
Okay.
are 14 and 10.
Okay, all right, those are some great ages. And on a scale of 0 to 10, Ebony, with 10 being the highest, how serious are you about making that a reality?
11.
An 11, wow. Okay, I can see you're definitely serious. Okay, and by you having that additional space, what would it allow the girls to do?
It will allow them to breathe right now. And I'm just being honest about where I was 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Right now I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment. My sister is staying with me. She has 2 children too. So she has 1 room with her kids. I have 1 room with my kids. And everything we touch seems to fall apart. It's just been overly loved and we need to move. And so having the additional space will give them room to breathe. It will give my older daughter a sense of separation from her sisters because she is growing into young adulthood. And it will also give an opportunity for my younger children to bond, just to solidify their relationship.
Wow, wow.
And for me, it'll give me my own space.
Okay, so you have a little peace of mind on your own as well.
That was the plan. That's not what happened though, but that's the plan.
Okay, so Ebony, it sounds like we'll be making 2 families happy as opposed to 1. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, and you said you really wanted to make this happen. So let me ask you this. So Ebony, if I could find a home that matched your needs and I could find it within 30 days or less, would that pose a problem for you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, all right, now I'm gonna stop right there because that was around motivation and her timing. Because the next question would be, number 1 was, why are you moving? So do you guys on the Zoom have a good idea of why she's moving? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
Next question, is she motivated?
yes,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Does she want to do this sooner than later?
yes.
Okay, that's why
I'm ready to
motivation.
go.
That's why motivation is so important, to understand her motivation. Now, check this out. Based on what you just heard from Ebony, do you think the interest rates are going to stop Ebony?
No.
No,
All right, so you guys with me? You picking up on that?
mhm,
All right. So get people's motivation, because a lot of times when their motivation is strong, the interest rate can be 9%. The interest rate can be 8%. She's motivated. She has all of those people in the same house. They don't have peace of mind.
I mean, we had peace, we just didn't have space.
So y'all were doing good. Y'all were doing good to do that one, because most people can't juggle that one. So I
It was a-
commend you.
It was
All right,
very
now.
interesting. Like thinking back on it, it was like, how did we all fit? Because when they come visit, it's crowded in here. And I've moved into a 3-bedroom house with a basement. And when my sister and her kids come visit, I feel crowded. Where when we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, we we had peace. I believe that's just where we were to be during that time in our life. And then when it was coming to an end, you could feel it like it's time to go.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna flip that script to making the prospect a seller, because I want to stick with what we're doing tonight,
Okay.
which is actually winning the seller. Okay, so what could you guys come up with as additional questions that you would ask on a client qualifier to see how good of a client, prospective client do you have? Because right now she's a prospect. She's not a client. We can't call her a client because we don't have her under an agency agreement. Once she goes under an agency agreement, then she is our client. So what other questions can you guys think of?
Whether or not she's been pre-qualified for a mortgage?
Yes. Whether she's been pre-qualified for a home ownership investment.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a
All
good
right,
one.
language. I like it.
Yes, yes, I have.
Okay, all right, what other questions?
Are you talking about for a listing or like for a
Yes.
seller or
Mhm, for seller, for seller.
for a seller, asking what they, why they're looking to sell?
Okay, yes,
And do they
Okay.
have any liens on their property right now?
okay,
Is their property free from liens?
okay.
Where are
Another
you
one
looking,
could, go ahead.
where are you looking to move?
Where you looking to move? What area, what
When?
location?
When are you looking to move? I think that's important. Do
Another
you
one
need-
might be, how much do you want to sell your house for? Another one might be, how much do you want to walk away with in your pocket?
Most important.
Another one might be, what major improvements have you made to your present home? What are your major concerns in making a move? What would it take for you to take action with me when I come out this evening? So are we gonna be playing pity pat, or we're gonna be getting something going here? Now, remember, these are over the phone. This is not even in person. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna move on. Client qualifier. Which says pre-qualified the seller. All right, let's see what we got next. All right, the connecting questions. You guys asked some of these. Here are some of them on the screen. If you would, please tell me a little bit more about your family, job, life, etc. What are you looking for? What do you want to do? Where would you like to buy? Where is your home located? Why are you moving? When would you like to do this? All right, so you see who, what, where, why, when, how. Remember that formula. Who, what, where, why, when, and how. All right, good? Good on that one? All right, I'm gonna keep pushing. All right, seller lead categories. Now, here's another thing. You want to start categorizing your sellers and your buyers in terms of whether they are an A, a B, or a C. I see many agents spinning their wheels and losing time with C people. Now, if I have enough A and B people, I don't really have time to be working C people right now, because they're further down the road. Now, I can put them in my command. I can put them in the database. I can put them on a smart plan. I can put them on a neighborhood nurture. All right. Now, here's the definition of an A: able, ready, and willing to do business. Now, check this out: in 0 to 14 days. So 0 to 2 weeks, not 30 days, not 2 months. Action. If somebody is a 0 to 14 days, you want to contact them. What does it say there? What does it say? Action.
contact them daily?
Daily.
Daily. Now, with you guys being new, a lot of you are going to be afraid of that. Oh, I can't call somebody every day. That's too much. Because I don't like it if somebody call me every day. Guess what? Is it about you? No. It's about them. And remember, anytime you're reaching out, remember, you're always coming from contribution. I'm not calling to try to make somebody or force somebody to do something they don't want to do. None of us are going to convince somebody to buy a house they don't want to buy. I would never do that anyway, because then you're going to be steadily trying to back out of it because you don't want it. And you're not going to be happy. Then you're going to badmouth me. Then you're going to put it on Facebook. Then you're going to have bad tweets about me. No, I want you to be happy. I'm not just trying to collect a check, all right? Because I plan to be in the business. All right, what is a B buyer? A B buyer, able, ready, and willing to do business in what? 15 to 60 days. 15 to 60 days. What is your action? Put them in your database, and you should be contacting them. Call every 2 to 3 days, or at least once a week. If they are B, your C buyer, able, ready, and willing to do business in 61 days or more, 61 plus. Put them in your database, and you're going to call monthly. Everybody good on the A, B, and C?
Yes.
Yes? All right. All right. They have a category in here, real play. Categorize your seller leads, 5 minutes. Now, I don't know if any of you have any seller leads. Do any of you? Here's what we'll do. Even though this is, because I want you guys to be able, because it's like about 7:20. So here's what we're going to do real quick. I'm only going to ask you to do one. Is this. I want you to do this. I want you to select anybody in your phone. I don't care who the person is. And I'm going to give you here. Let me put the script in the chat. I'm thinking of the script, and I'm going to put this script in the chat. This is, and I'll put you with Keller Williams. Don't say KW, say Keller Williams, but I'm doing it for the sake of abbreviation. This is you with, this is Jerome with Keller Williams. Now, as you may know, I just started I'm gonna put RE for real estate business. With the #1 real estate brokerage. And that's in the world, brokerage in the world. And we're gonna just ask for a referral. I'm gonna cut this short. I'm not gonna do it, make this longer. #1 real estate brokerage in the world. If there is one person that should be a home, I'm abbreviating this because I don't want to type all of this stuff out. So excuse my abbreviations, y'all can figure it out. Should be a homeowner who, homeowner who is not a homeowner, who would that person be? All right, so here, we're only gonna take like 5 minutes because I want you to get something in and I would love for you to get a lead, okay? So I know I'm giving you a script right now that's a buyer script, but I don't really care for that right now because I just want you to get a lead. I just want you to have some possible lead that you may get. Now that person, they may say, well, I can't think of anyone. Okay, well, I appreciate you taking the time to think about that. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you a couple of days and I'll be in touch to see who came to mind. Thanks for being so nice to me on the phone. That's it, okay? So here's the script. I'm gonna send the script to you. I put it in the chat. Hello, blank, that's you. So hello, or who they are. Hello, blank, hello, Margaret, hello, Ebony. This is Rhonda with Keller Williams Realty. As you may know, I just started my real estate business with the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. If there was one person that should be a homeowner who's not, that should say who's not, I left the S off, who's not a homeowner, who would that one person be? Who would that one person be? Who would that one person be? All right. All right, so let me copy that. Let me put it down here. I hope that I can, oh, I had something else there. Don't worry about that. All right, so let's take 5 minutes. All I want you to do is just take 5 minutes, just anybody in your phone. All right, especially anybody that's been supportive of you, somebody that always looks out for you. So let them know that you're excited because you've affiliated with the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. So if there was one person, we're not asking them who do they know that's not a homeowner. Now follow the script. If there was one person that you know that's currently not a homeowner, that should be a homeowner, who would that one person be? We're not asking for 5 or 6 referrals. We're not trying to make it difficult. We want to make it easy. All right. All right. So I'm going to give you like 5 minutes and then we're going to come back on. All right. So jump in your phone, just find one person. Don't be scrolling forever. We just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and the 5 minutes is up. All right. You got to put the work in. All right. So let's go. And I'll be back on in 5 minutes. I'm going to sit here and you can mute while you make your call and go ahead and make your call. All right. So let's hop to it. And then we'll debrief. All right, you got about 4 minutes left. All right, you got about 3 minutes. Let's really go ahead and be true to ourselves and go after business. Real estate is a relationship business. So don't fool yourself. All right, got about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right, we're getting in the home stretch. All right. All right, let's come back in. So anyone that actually did the exercise, just please share with me what it was like. Anyone that did the exercise, I'd just like to get some feedback from you. Hello? Did we have anyone that actually did the exercise?
Yeah, I did. I had to call 2 people though, because the first person didn't answer the phone, so I just
Okay.
called the very next person down.
Okay, what was the experience?
Well, yeah, they knew I was in real estate, so they kind of were like, yeah, I saw your post, or, because I've been posting on social media. And they actually did say that they knew a couple people, so they're gonna give me the information and get me in contact with them. I don't know what that means in terms of couple people. It could be just one person, but apparently there were people that they were telling them before not to buy. And so when the rates first started going up or whatever, I was like, oh, no. You don't want to let me get a hold of them. Let me, give me their information and maybe I can have a conversation with them. So.
Okay. Okay, so you got a lead.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it'd be a couple leads, but we'll see. I like this approach.
Oh, you like that approach? Okay. Well, one lead is better than 0 leads. So
right.
It all starts with 1. So you got 1. So I'm happy to hear that, Crystal. Okay, who else? I know somebody else made the call. Who else?
I made the call and I got a name and number
Oh, you
of
did?
someone who's a friend of a friend and is interested in buying a house.
Okay. All right. So how do you feel about that?
It feels good. I will give them a call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the start. Now, the thing that you want to do, anybody else? Is there one more?
I got a lead.
Wow. See how this happens? Wow. This magically happens. Wow. Isn't that something? All right. Okay. I wasn't going to go past 3. If 3 people got leads, anybody else want to share?
It was a buyer, not a seller, so.
That's, hey, it's business, right? We're not
Right.
gonna throw rocks at these buyers. All right, anybody else before I close that part out? Anybody else want to share?
I got a lead as well, Tyron.
And see how this works? Look, all y'all that put the work in, guess what happened? You got leads. Now, think about this. If you would not have been on this Ignite, that's a lead you wouldn't have had. So I want to commend you guys for showing up for your business and being engaged. So I want to commend you for showing up for your business. That's a big part of success, is being present. And you guys showed up. Okay? Because this was Ignite for the region. And for us to have 17 people for the region, so there's a bunch of people that didn't show up for their business, but you guys did. So I'm excited for you. Okay. Oh, and Crystal, I got you, because I got your message in the chat, okay?
I want to apologize. So I muted you guys because I was on the phone call. But
Mhm.
why are we giving the phone numbers? So should I add it to it? I missed something. I just tuned in.
No, we were just asking what that experience was like, and did anyone get leads?
Okay, so we don't need to put our own information here and.
No,
Okay,
no, this is for you.
well, mine said that I'm in the age where everybody already settled down and doesn't need anything. However, and I explained to them like what maybe they're changing jobs, and maybe there are changes in the family. If, and she said, if anybody comes to my mind, I'll let you know.
Okay,
That was it.
okay, that's, hey, that was positive. It wasn't a bad experience or anything, right? So,
It was
no,
my cousin, so.
okay, that's fine. All right, so you got that, okay. All right, so basically what we did was you guys asked for a referral. You asked for a referral. Absolutely, okay. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna keep pushing. All right, it says ask them to reciprocate. Ask them to reciprocate. All right, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna see what else we got. Let's see what's the next one. Let me go back one. All right, so the next actual one, we talked about pre-qualifying. Daily success habits, we've talked about that a little bit. Let's see what else we got. I'm not going to go over this pre-qualifying the sellers again. Understand the seller's motivation, position yourself as the expert, win the listing, allow you to price the home to sell for the most amount of money in the shortest time frame. Remember, the longer a home is on the market, it typically sells for less. So you're not in this to have somebody's house sitting on the market for 30, 45, 60 days, 90 days. And going into the fall and the winter, this is the slow season. Although a lot of real estate agents make a lot of money this time of year because many other real estate agents stop working. So this is a great time to make money, believe me, because the competition falls off. All right, pre-listing questions. We went over some of that already. Role play, pre-qualifying scripts. We're going to keep moving beyond that. Remember, your listing presentation or listing consultation, which I like to use, is in command in your design library. And they already have the templates already done for you. So if you go to command later on, not now, don't do that now, because I want to keep going through with you. Stay focused. I don't want you getting distracted. Just know that the listing consultation is in the designs library. You select the pages that you would like to go in it. You can customize it to the person that you are actually working with. So you can customize it to them. All right, ahas and achievements. How has your thinking changed from prior to you being on the call? Anybody? How's your thinking changed? Where's your mindset at? Anybody want to share?
Follow
Feel
up.
better
That was
about
a big
follow-ups
one.
and how often to do them.
Okay, so your takeaway was how often to do the follow-up?
Yeah, because I was struggling with that. I was like, okay, so they didn't answer, they didn't call back, they didn't answer the call, they didn't answer the message, they didn't answer the text.
Okay. All right, anybody else?
That
My
was the same.
takeaway, oh, go ahead.
The follow-up was the same thing. Because I mean, I followed up before, but I like the stats that you gave about, you need to continue to follow up, and look how many people, with those stats, people that actually, responded to that after calling or reaching out however many times. So you can't just say, oh, well, I've reached out 2 or 3 times and that's it. You keep doing it.
Right, 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. 80%. Because remember, in a lot of these situations, everything isn't going to be instant for you. Everything isn't going to be instant where somebody's going to do something right away. One of the things that you got to remember is you're going to be nurturing people. You'll have somebody that you took a flyer out to or a door hanger out to last year, once you guys have been in the business, and all of a sudden you get a phone call. You didn't forget that you even took that door hanger out there. You're like, well, what neighborhood did I even take the door hanger to? But guess what? Can you use the business? Absolutely. Okay. So it's not going to all be right now business. And many agents worry about this. And this is what I say, look, if it came to a choice of having no now business, but a ton of future business, I'll take the ton of future business. I'll survive for now, but I'll take the ton of future business. And how I'm going to get that future business is by what I'm doing on a daily basis. Daily. I'll drop this on you. Here, I'll drop a couple of things on you. To do real estate, now this is coming from me, I'm not somebody else. At a minimum, you need to lead generate about 2 hours a day. That's all, 2 hours a day. Now, I get asked this question all the time. Well, coach, what do I need to do in terms of appointments? You need to be running, well, I can give it to you. If you want to make, because most of the time with my coaching clients, whoever I talk to, whether they're considered a dual career agent or somebody so-called the full-time thing, most people, when you ask them what they want to make doing this, if you average out the number, it comes to $100,000. That's what everybody says, about $100,000. Okay, so if you want to make $100,000, you need to be running at least 2 appointments a week. Write that down. If I want to make $100,000, I need to be running about 2 appointments a week. If you want to make $200,000 or plus, you need to run about 3 appointments a week. So lead generate 2 hours a day and run, if your goal is the 100,000, run 2 appointments a week. Okay, everybody good on that? All right. I just thought of that. So sometimes I think of things, and if I don't give it to you right then and there, I'm not going to remember it later on. All right. Good question. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take going forward? So somebody give me something that they're going to put in motion within 24 hours of having been on this Ignite Win the Seller. What is it that you're going to implement within 24 hours? Not next week, not 2 weeks from now, not after Halloween, not after Thanksgiving, not after the Christmas holidays. So what would you implement in your business? Knowing what you know tonight, the knowledge that you got tonight.
Buy note cards.
Note cards, I like that. All right, good man, note cards. Those note cards work wonders too. Don't forget to put the 2 business cards in there.
Right.
Don't put 1, put 2. And if you're doing the note card, especially the people that you know, what will take it to the next level where you can plus it up, Roy, is going to be if you have the phone numbers. Because then you want to follow up within 3 to 4 days of you having sent out the note cards. Now, here's the other thing I can tell you that's going to happen. When you send the note cards out and you follow up, you send them out in the colorful envelopes. Please send them in the color envelope. Do not send them in a white envelope. Because when people get it in that colored envelope, it's going to look like it's an invitation. And when we get something that looks like that, we want to open it and see, what is it? When you make those follow-up phone calls, I can tell you what's going to happen. People are going to be, the call is going to be a joyous call. People are going to be appreciative. People aren't going to be mad with you. It's going to be an appreciative call. You're going to get some other information. Now, here's the thing I would say to you is this, especially if you're sending those note cards to someone you know, look in your Ignite manual and get that 4 technique. Use the 4 technique on that call. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. That's one of the oldest selling techniques in the world, the 4 technique. So I'll role play the call with Roy. Are you okay to role play it with me? You can be the prospect,
Yes, sure.
unless you want to be the agent.
I'll be the prospect.
I thought so. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna call Roy up. So now, Roy is somebody I know. I haven't spoken to Roy in 2 years. Now, is that a challenging call to make? Yeah, when you ain't talked to somebody in 2 years, because some of y'all got people like that. So I don't want to make this no easy, like an easy peasy. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna go ring, ring, ring. Roy is going to pick up. Now, Roy knows me, but it's not like I've been talking to him on the regular. All right, so here we go. Ring, ring, ring. Pick up, Roy. Let me get your face back up here because I like to see you as I'm interacting with you. I had your face on here. Where you at? Let me put you on the grid so I can see you. Okay, there you go. All right, so ring, ring, ring. Pick up, Roy.
Hello?
Hello, Roy. Thank you for taking my call. Roy, this is Tyrone Whitby. And Roy, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little bit embarrassed to even call you because Roy, I have not done a good job of keeping in touch with you. And you know, I looked at the phone for about 10 minutes before I could pick it up because I felt so ashamed of not being in touch with you. And I just wanted to give you a call and reach out just to get a feel for what's going on with you in terms of the family and let you know that I'm going to do much better with that. So how are things going with the family, Roy?
Yeah, this is a surprise. Yeah, everybody's okay. Yeah, we're going on vacation next week, but yeah, everybody's doing well. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. You know, being in real estate, I do coaching. I don't know if I spoke to you, but I do coaching.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And 2 weeks ago, I had one of my coaching clients was in the office and we were doing a coaching session. And after she left, neither one of us had a mask on. And after she left, Roy, I got that little tingling thing in my throat. And I was like, no, I must be catching a cold. And Roy, the next day I couldn't even come into the office. And she gave me a call on that Thursday because I was still out. And she told me that she had been in contact with someone that had tested positive for COVID, Roy.
Oh, wow.
So guess who then tested positive for COVID, Roy?
I guess you got it.
Me. So I was real shocked with that. Other than that, I've been pretty good. Hey, you mentioned that you guys are going on vacation. I had actually put some of my travel on hold because I was scheduled to go to Greece. But the time that I was going to go, Roy, the CDC had Greece real high on the COVID list. Where are you guys going, just out of curiosity?
We're going out west to Colorado.
Colorado, wow. So what, do you have other family out there or?
No, just want to do some sightseeing, some hiking. You know, it's a nice time of year.
Wow, okay. How long do you think you guys are going to be out there?
Maybe a week.
A week, okay. Well, that's going to be some great exercise because, you know, with what I do, I'm constantly in and out of houses. And after that COVID scare, I had to get my strength up. So actually today, I've been counting my steps because I'm just going to start it slow. I'm actually doing 3,500 steps a day. And actually looking at my phone right now, I'm like actually happy to say I've got 3,700 steps in. So I'm working it out. So look, I don't want to keep you long, but I'm glad that the family is doing well. Glad that you guys are really getting to do some of the things that you wanted to do. So I'm going to do a better job of just keeping in touch with you from time to time. If you ever have anything that you need in terms of real estate or any family members, I know you don't want them to fall into the hands of a bad agent. So please give me a call and I'll make sure that I give them top-notch service. So you guys go and enjoy that vacation, Roy.
Yeah, all right, thanks. Yep, good talking to you. Yep.
You as well.
Right.
Have a beautiful day. All right.
Okay.
Okay, now, I just did family out of that. He gave me recreation. I didn't ask his occupation because I could have said, so Roy, are you still doing the same job, still same employment, or what do you got? What are you doing now?
Wait, are we role playing?
Yeah, we back in, we back in the mix. I'm gonna give you some work.
Oh, okay. I'm just driving for Uber.
So just make up something that you do, whatever, maybe the job before you got in real estate.
Oh, yeah, well, work for the government.
Oh, okay. Government contracting or what capacity?
No, federal employee, Department of Commerce.
Oh, okay. So are you guys going in or are you guys working remotely?
Remote. Yeah,
Oh,
I
remote.
was remote before COVID. It's, yeah, we've been remote a long time.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I know at my office or my market center, we use the term market centers. They're really encouraging us to come back in because they want to get back into more of a family atmosphere. We just had our office cookout this past Saturday. It was really, real nice. Real great event. And it was a lot of fun just to start to see people again and just to see people in person again. All right, so now look, he knows I'm in real estate. I dropped that. I didn't even have to. Now at the end, I did ask him like real estate, you can do it and not even ask that because he knows I'm in real estate because I integrated it in what I heard him say. I played off of what I heard Roy say.
Mhm.
Well, being in real estate, you know, you need exercise. And after the COVID scare I had, you know, and he knows now I'm doing steps. I did 3,700 steps. And because he knows I'm in real estate. I'm not hitting him over the head. Y'all with me?
I thought you were going to bring up the colored envelope.
I don't know. I got lost in that part, but you can take that. Yeah, you can take that there. So Roy,
All
let
right.
me ask you this. Did you receive that neon envelope that I sent you?
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Wow. Well, I just wanted to make a loud announcement because I'm so excited about being in the real estate business. So I just wanted to big it up. So I'm glad that you did get a chance to open it. Hey,
Yeah.
look, can you do me a favor, Roy? Because you've always been real supportive, and I really appreciate that. And there are 2 business cards in there, Roy. Could you do me a favor? Could you possibly give that other business card away to someone that may be an acquaintance of yours or someone that you may run into? Could you give that other business card away for me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I still have it.
Okay, I appreciate that. And if you do give it to someone that may have an interest in real estate, feel free to share that with me. And I'll be happy to let them know, as long as you tell me it's okay, I'll be happy to let them know that you referred me, if that's okay.
Yeah,
that cool?
yeah. If I give it to somebody, yeah, definitely.
Okay, beautiful. All right, boom.
All right.
You guys got it?
Mm.
Okay. All right. So have a goal of how many of those you want to do and track how many you give out. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now put those notes in that person's file folder. Make sure you put them in command. You want to put your SOI in command and put the notes. Okay. So once you put people in command, put the notes. So if I pull Roy up, I'm going to have a section that says notes. So it'll be sent Roy, sent him the colored envelope last Saturday. Then I'm going to give myself a task. Follow up with him tomorrow because all of your tasks are going to show up. The last tip that I would give you is you want to operate your business out of command because that's where your money is. We all remember that movie, Jerry Maguire. What was the catchphrase in Jerry Maguire? What was the catchphrase?
Show me the money.
Show me the money. So what I say to you guys is follow the money and your money will be in command. Follow the money. So you want to get in the habit of operating daily out of command. You want to run your business out of command because that's where your money is. And remember, you're going to be nurturing people and you're going to be moving people forward through the selling cycle. You want to control the selling cycle as much as possible. Failing to follow up, the prospect controls the selling cycle. When you're making the follow-up calls, you're moving things up. Because there are going to be plenty of people that are going to say, well, they want to wait till after the holidays. Wow. Okay, I can appreciate that. So just out of curiosity, let me ask you this. If you knew that if you waited until after the holidays, that it could possibly cost you tens of thousands of dollars, would you consider moving that up before interest rates increase further? Yes or no? All right. All right. So all of that stuff is learned and you put the work in, you script practice, and it's all learned. So look, guys, I really enjoyed being on with you guys this evening. You guys were a good group. Y'all put a smile on my face. I'm happy to have been able to just share with you guys. And if there's anything, let me see if I can put my number in the chat where if there's anything you guys need, if there's anything that you guys ever need, let me know and I would be happy to do it. So I'm gonna put my number in the chat right now. All right, and everybody calls me Coach T, so you guys can feel free to call me that as well. So I put my number. Oh, let me put my market center in here for you as well. My market center is Market Center 460. 460. And I'm in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, right over here by FedEx Field. And okay, there we go. Market Center 460. Let me go ahead and I'll put Upper Marlboro on it too. So I wish you guys the best. So make sure you guys stay engaged, okay? That's the one of the number one reasons why I see people fall by the wayside in this business. They don't stay engaged. So stay engaged. Stay engaged in your training like you guys did this evening. Be present in your market center, show up for your business. And like I said, if there's anything that I can do to, to help you, feel free to let me know, okay? All right, so my number's in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
And all I can say at this point is good night. So I hope you got some value. And I hope you'll implement and put into practice some of the things that you heard tonight.
Yes, thanks
you.
a lot. It was great.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Good
Thank you.
class, good class.
Yeah.
And did I pronounce your name wrong?
No, it's Tyrone. I see Anthony Humphreys on here. My man, Anthony. I saw that name. I was like, man, is that my man?
What's up, Coach?
Yeah. No,
Hey,
it's
Coach.
Tyrone.
Hey,
Tyrone.
Coach. If you speaking somewhere, you know I'm gonna come listen.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well, sir.
So it was good to see all of you and have all of you on. All right. So if there's nothing else, then I'm going to end the Zoom and you guys can just be successful. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.